Computer. So welcome back and happy new year. Reality After Darkness. We're back. It's been a while, but we're here. What's going on? Did you freeze? Oh shoot, my co-host froze.
Still frozen.
You froze,
Hey,
right? Yo, you
yeah, you
froze.
too.
We were like, dude, it was the Matrix, man. The
Wait,
Matrix.
why? My internet should be good. Well, we'll see.
So, anywho, I was just saying happy new year and welcome back, everybody. We're here.
Welcome back to the new year, new beginnings.
For real. And it's 13 days in, right? Because today we're filming it's Monday the 13th of January and it's been a shit show. And it's
Yeah,
only 13 days in. Like what the hell? The
yeah.
apocalypse has unleashed. It
Tell
feels
me
like
about it. It
it
feels
feels
like it. We got to prepare for it all right about now.
for real. Like I don't know if we're preparing for alien invasion, World War III, freaking, forest fires and earthquakes and the end of the world.
Yeah,
Let me tell you, it's crazy.
we might have snowstorms coming up soon, you know?
Well, did you see The Simpsons predicted that crap? It's like a
No,
blizzard.
I didn't see that one.
All right, so apparently the Simpsons predicted we're getting this blizzard type craziness this week. It's supposed to be this Wednesday through to the 21st or 20 something that we're supposed to get like 6, 7 days worth of crazy cold, 2, 3 feet of snow in different places. Like, yeah, the Simpsons predict everything. I have a theory about all of this, but we ain't gonna talk about that right now.
They had dates and everything with that.
Yes, 2025, winter of 2025. We were gonna
Wow,
get this
I gotta
like
catch
crazy
that one
storm.
up.
Mm-hmm.
Some
It's
kid at
crazy.
my job today was like, "Oh, it's gonna be really cold next week. There's supposed to be over 200 storms." I'm like, "What?" Where I don't even know where he got that information from.
I didn't hear 200. That's crazy.
But the end might be near.
Listen, it could be at this point. I really think something is off.
Did you get a chance to see any of those drones that have been flying around?
Yes, I think we saw one when we took the kids to see the lights, the PNC
Hmm.
lights. I think when we got out to get hot chocolate, we were looking up and they were like, "Lo, I think that's a drone." And I'm like, that was like 2, 3 weeks back. And I'm like, nah, that's not a drone. I thought it was too big. It looked huge. Then when I realized they were saying that they were humongous, I was like, okay, maybe
Yes,
it was a drone.
I heard they were like the size of cars.
Yes, it was huge. Whatever it was very big. And I thought maybe it's an airplane. I didn't think it was a drone. But then looking at the videos and looking at the colors that they were, I was like, okay, maybe it
Hmm.
was a drone. I didn't
You
expect it to
know,
be that big.
I find that interesting because I listen to the news on the way to work, and I heard last week that by 2028, there's going to be flying taxis that will take you from Manhattan to JFK in like 10, 15 minutes.
What?
So who's to know if they're already trying to,
Practice?
test it out? They have to, right?
I'm not surprised. I wouldn't be surprised about that. That's
Because
an
come on, they're
interesting
just
theory.
they're just gonna let these things fly around and nobody's gonna know anything. Please.
Well, there's a lot of speculations of what it could be. So there were people saying that there was some kind of nuclear waste that was stolen from a truck that
Hmm.
was going to Newark Port and that
Okay.
it disappeared and then they couldn't find it. And some people's speculation was they used these drones to figure out where that contamination and that product, whatever the hell the nuclear waste was, where it was
Hmm.
moving so they can track it down. And apparently they found it. And that's the reason why we haven't seen them anymore. At least I don't think many people are seeing them anymore. But then other people all over the world were saying that it's not just the US, it's not just the East Coast or even Jersey.
Hmm.
It's just a lot of stuff. And then this one guy asks AI, he's like, why would Jersey be important for X, Y, and Z?
Hmm.
And oh my gosh, New Jersey has so much. We're the
So many
place,
reasons.
yeah, we're closest to New York. We have the financial backing here in our state. We have some of the
Hmm.
biggest companies in our state, some of the biggest like pharmaceuticals and like just so much. This guy went down this rabbit hole list, and I'm like, dang, no wonder why New Jersey is so expensive to live in. And
Mm-hmm.
everybody like in this area from New York and whatever, they moved here.
Right.
So many
Makes sense.
celebrities live here too. A lot of like famous people are here.
Mm-hmm.
It was nuts for me. I was like, that's crazy.
Well, I also heard a theory. This lady told me I was at work and she's like, she's not allowing for us to install any smart meters at her house. She's
Okay.
against all that stuff. And
Mm,
she said that she heard that the technology that these drones might have, they have the infrared and they're able to see inside people's houses.
mhm.
And they're able to really count bodies and or weapons.
Well, she doesn't need to worry about the smart meters because 5G and 6G is almost around the corner
Yeah,
if it's not already rolled out. And
yeah,
that's the reason why they were saying that people were getting sick back in 2020 and all the symptoms and the
yeah.
feelings and all that was 5G radiation. It
Mm-hmm.
was because they rolled that out and they're making everybody think that it's because they're sick.
Yeah,
And so this woman saying she doesn't want that smart meter, whether she wants it or not. If she has a cell phone, her house
yeah.
is seen. If she's got Wi-Fi, they can see. There's technology, supposedly, that your Wi-Fi is enough for them to scan your whole house. So these
I
drones don't
believe
need
it.
to do it.
I
You
believe it. I mean, it's to the point now where, before you used to share something with somebody and then they will start coming up on their phone. Now you could just be right next to them looking at something,
know? Mm-hmm.
and all of a sudden it's on their phone too.
Absolutely. That's crazy. Or you could
It's
think of something and it's popping up on your phone. Like I didn't even say that.
nuts.
Or people are in sync with the same information,
Hmm.
the algorithm. I don't know.
Right.
And then, back in the day, we were like, I don't want to be tracked. Well, what the hell do we think our cell phone is? Our cell phone, the GPS is on all day. The
All day.
apps are open. If you don't tell your app to not listen, they're listening to
Of
everything.
course. And
They know
who doesn't
where.
sleep with their phone right next to them,
Yep,
charging
yep. And then they
every
say,
given moment?
yeah. And also they were saying that about the AirPods that, you know, they can censor or check your brain cell, whatever the hell
Hmm.
your neurological pattern. And they can kind of figure out what you're thinking, what you're dreaming. I was like, this is crazy. They say you should turn your
Too
Wi-Fi
advanced for
off.
me.
Uh-huh. They say you should turn your Wi-Fi off when you go to sleep. I don't know,
Makes
audience.
sense.
Audience, do you guys turn your Wi-Fi off when you go to sleep? Because I
Yeah.
want
Does
to
anybody charge their phone in another room? I think I want to go back to an old school alarm
know.
and
Mm-hmm.
having my phone in another room.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm with you.
Because to be honest, like in the middle of the night, I'm even rolling over, not to check my phone, but to check the time. And that's waking it back up in a sense.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And
So
it's
I'm definitely thinking about going to old school alarm.
and they're saying that you should get like a grounding like blanket type thing or a mat that you put on top of your mattress and you can sleep grounding and earthing because it'll stop that radiation that we get from our microwaves, from our tech, from our Wi-Fi, our cell phones, all that crap is emitting so much on us that we don't even realize that it's affecting us. It's affecting our sleep pattern. We're waking up more in the middle of the night. We're not getting that
Absolutely.
good rest that we used to get
Yeah,
back in the day before all this crap. We used to hit that bed, be out.
right.
Now it's like,
And sleeping in late and everything. I don't even remember the last time I was able to sleep in late.
yes, because you
And I
wake
and
up.
I want to, which is crazy.
Same.
It's nuts.
I just recently
But
started taking magnesium. Like
oh
magnesium
yeah.
is called Calm. It's a really good supplement. And this isn't a promotion or nothing because I don't have any ties to them, but is a powder magnesium. You put it in hot water, like a little bit of warm water,
Hmm.
and it sizzles. You make it dissolve, it gets clear. They got like this Mandarin version, like it's really good. It tastes like orangey, citrusy. And I just make a tea with that, and it's been helping me. I've been sleeping the last 2 nights because I've been taking it for 4 days in a row. The last two nights
Hmm.
I've had full on, I have not woken up in the middle of the night.
Really?
Yep.
Magnesium, huh?
Magnesium. Yeah, they say that we're so stressed out in society that we're all depleted of magnesium.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
so I guess
everything is stressful. Turning on the news is stressful.
man, I don't even watch that shit anymore.
It's
There's
too much. It's everywhere you look.
everywhere.
Look at these fires that are going on.
I know it's crazy because I'm looking at this campfire that someone very special to me he made. Well, you can't see it now because the camera's playing games. But
Oh,
look.
I see it. I see
And I'm looking at
it.
that fire and I'm just like, yo, those fires are crazy. Look at
Yeah.
what's
Are
going
they?
on.
I haven't even checked to see how contained they are. I don't even think they are.
No, but think about the people's homes. Do you know the list of people whose homes, the celebrity A-listers?
I heard today that what Mandy Moore had her she started a GoFundMe for her family, but I don't know if her house was affected.
That I don't remember. I think maybe one of her homes or her home was affected. But there's some A-listers out there that like supposedly Paris Hilton's house burned down. Tom Hanks'
Wow.
house burned down. These are just what I've seen and heard. I don't know if all this is accurate, so people please don't quote me on any of this. They're saying that the Diddler's house caught fire too.
Really? What a
Mhm.
coincidence.
Uh-huh. In this crazy climate where, things are happening, that there was
Yeah.
no water in the hydrants.
Mm,
There wasn't even water in the reservoir nearest LA that could have been
that
full.
blows my mind.
Like
That
how?
blows my mind. You have the whole ocean there. How do you not have a filtration system
Yep.
with water just ready for these fires? I'll
Mhm.
never understand that.
No, and then they cut back their fire department
Hmm.
funding. They cut back, I think, $150 million of funding. They didn't want to have too many firemen. So they cut people
Knowing that
back.
they had these issues.
Yeah. And then 2 months ago, State Farm decided they were going to cancel their policies on all these people's homes. I'm like, what?
I heard
That,
about that.
that sounds a little like Maui. And it also
Hmm.
reminds me of 9/11. I don't know if you had heard that 2 months before those buildings were struck, they changed their insurance policy over to include a higher rate, payout,
Hmm.
and also for terrorist attacks to be
Really?
sure 2 months before the
Yeah.
planes hit.
It sounds
So,
like there's an inner world we don't know about.
amen. That's exactly it. An inner world that we don't know about.
Hmm.
So, on that note,
We gotta stay on top of this stuff. As much as we don't want to, hear about it, but we gotta know what's going on out there.
listen, reality after darkness is about exposing everything. It's about sharing everything from healing to conspiracies to theories to everything because it's relevant now more than ever. You know,
Right.
that,
We
that
have to
we,
be on point.
yeah, we have to be keeping an eye on everything. Like today, I posted on TikTok a 10-minute or a little bit under 10-minute video on my theory of what we're living in. And like,
Hmm.
I swear, we're like living in this world that was mapped out for us by those that can afford to watch us like an experiment. We're like in this giant movie that,
Yeah.
they got people doing things every which way and we're watching, but the people behind the curtain know what's going on. And like you
Hmm.
said, there's a whole inner world that we don't have access to.
Right. And we never will. Because it's funny, like they'll bring something up and oh my God, and then all of a sudden it disappears
Mm-hmm.
and we
Mm-hmm.
just move on with life. But
Yep.
somebody is really gonna has access to know what's happening.
Right.
Like, come on, they were saying back to the drones real quick that the government had to know. They weren't just gonna let these things fly around when they have actual aircrafts flying around in the air
Right.
that could interfere with.
The FAA has to know about that. You can't just, you can't crash into a plane. They have to know what's moving in our night skies or day sky, any skies. They know what's allowed to be
From
floating around there.
from what I remember, you need a permission to even fly a drone.
Mm-hmm.
So who's getting access or licenses for those,
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And not
But
even
yeah,
not like let's go even further, right? Like I don't know if you've ever heard the theory of Antarctica, that they believe that beyond Antarctica, there's other lands and other places to live. I don't know if you ever heard
mhm.
that theory. So I started going
No,
down.
I haven't. But how would? Yeah, it could be. We don't know. We're not.
We
Who's
don't know.
who's gone there? Because I don't know anybody who's been there.
They don't let you go,
Yeah,
you
you
know?
need special. You have special privileges. You have to get there.
Yes. So to me, I'm like, all right, if it's that taboo, if it's that secretive, there's something going on there.
I mean, you watch Game of Thrones?
I didn't watch the whole thing, but I was in and out watching it. Tell me what you're gonna
Well,
think.
there's a wall. It's called the wall, the ice wall, and there's a whole nother land behind it. It's
What?
part of the story. Yeah.
See, so they
So,
hide it in plain sight.
They
They
said they give
turn
you
it,
tidbits.
yes, they turn it into TV shows and they turn it into movies so we can think that it's just a movie, it's just a show. And meanwhile, they're telling us what's going on. So what was beyond this wall in the show?
There was these kind of other the night walkers and all that was a whole nother kind of type of being behind there.
Wow. Now,
Yeah, it was like the almost like the dead, I guess you could call them.
interesting.
Yeah,
Can you imagine that that's where the aliens come from?
could be.
And they're selling us that they've been coming in and out of the planet and they haven't come in or out of nowhere and they just been coming from across the ice wall.
Right. Something that nobody really explores like that.
Yep, yep. Or not allowed. So there have been people, right? So there was this guy, General Byrd. Supposedly he went over the ice wall or he was in
Mm-hmm.
Antarctica. And supposedly he got led to inner Earth. And
Mm-hmm.
the technology that the people that were living there was so far advanced. And this was in the 50s, I think, or the 40s. You can look him up. They literally
Mm-hmm.
controlled his plane and they maneuvered his plane like in movies where they control all your stuff. Like they controlled his plane. They were like, don't be alarmed, don't be afraid. We're here to help you. And we're gonna like ground your plane and everything. And then they showed him around. And they were people that looked humanoid, but like healthy as shit. These people are living longer. You're hearing whistleblowers all the time that people ignore, that they're like, yo, I was in the military and they took me to other planets or they took me to other places and there were other people. There's one guy I
Yeah.
recently saw a few weeks ago. He said people were living up to 800 years old, humans
Oh wow.
that
Is that so?
Yep, that are living to 800. And he said he met other beings that were like, I don't know, like from the Pleiadian, whatever the hell that is, but that they were living up to 3,000 years. And I'm like, yo, the Bible talks about people living up to 900 and something years old. We're the only ones that only make it to 70, 80, 90, maybe some people to 100, but we don't live to
Maybe.
200, 300. We don't. We're decrepit as hell. So I feel
And all
like
that this is getting fed to us is just shortening our lives even more.
I feel like we've been put in a cage and our lifespan was shortened and we can only travel this amount of places and we can only do this. And if we try to do anything outside of the box, we get unalived
Oh yeah. I
and forget
definitely feel
about
that
it.
there's some truth in that because I don't know, a lot of weird stuff going on around here.
And it's all at
I
once.
don't remember this as a kid.
Mm-mm. And it's
Like
all
even
at
just
once.
mm-hmm. It's
Yeah.
climate change, all this stuff that's happening.
But is it really climate change? Or
Is
is
it?
it,
Well, that's what they're portraying it as.
listen, what if the ice wall is coming down?
Yeah. What if it's time for them to join us?
To join us to reveal what's beyond the ice wall and they don't want us to know.
Hmm.
And that's why they're pushing this crap. Listen,
Anything is possible these days. Come on.
anything. And look, the doctors that whistleblow and they're like, hey, you don't need to take this medication. You could take this herb and live a long time. You can cure anything. And they're like, you're not allowed to say cure. Because if you say cure, you're unalived.
You know, a lot of weird things like that that do happen with people that have tried to come forth and give people knowledge.
Well, look at that one guy that he was saying, hey, the whole everything is watching you and spying on you. That young guy that he went to Russia. What the hell was his name? You know who I'm talking about, right? I can't think of his name right now. He was a young kid. He
He
worked for oh my God. You
was
know,
American.
yes, American that he ran out to Russia. What the hell is his name? Hey,
Snowden, Snowden,
yes, Snowden. Yes,
Snowden.
yes, 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 yes. Him. Yep,
Forgot his first name.
yep.
Remember his last name.
But you remember he was exposing,
Hmm.
he's like, they're listening to you, they're watching you. And he was warning us. And what did they do? You gotta run for he left. He left. He was terrified. They're like, we want him back in the States. And Russia was like, nope, we ain't give him
Hmm.
back to you. He's safe here. Snowden. Yep, that
Yeah,
was exactly who I was thinking.
probably using his information over there to really explore. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like being in, honestly, I feel like being in the US, yeah, we have our advantages, but we also have we're very controlled here when it comes to
Very much.
exploring and asking questions and getting answers.
Mm-hmm. Don't
This
ask
is
too
run
much.
like a business here, literally. Go to
Oh yeah.
work, go home, hang out with your family. That's it. Don't ask questions
Yeah, and they give you
unless you got money.
right, right. And they give you the illusion of choice. You get to
Hmm.
you get to choose which job you want to be on the hamster wheel with, which
Right.
career. Because that either way, 30-40% of your money is going to taxes. Then the
Yep.
other 60% is to go to live your life. And if you're lucky, you save 5 or 10% of that to retire. If you're lucky.
If you're lucky. And God
You know?
forbid anything comes in between all that.
Yep, an emergency. We're just slaves and we're fueling their system, making them richer, and we're all divided. And it was designed that way.
So do you feel like the elite are building these AIs to get rid of most of the population so
Oh,
they can just have them replace the ones that are not needed as
yep.
they can say?
Oh, absolutely. I think there's too many of us. So they need to eliminate us in one way or another. So they create these viruses, they create all these ailments and things. They know a lot of it is mineral deficiencies, magnesium, copper, lots of stuff that we could change. Our food has no nutritional value in it at all. Our water's toxic. Our
Mm,
medical system is toxic. It's just killing people. You die more in the hospital than winging it on the outside. Cancer treatment is poison.
yeah.
They're not
You
helping.
would think that by now they would have a cure, but come
And
on.
with billions of dollars that people have donated, how many doctors have been unalived? How about that airplane of Asian doctors that they had found a cure and they found all kinds of stuff? And then the one plane went down with about 70 of them. And then good thing half of them decided to take an earlier or a later flight somewhere else because if not, the whole department would have been completely wiped out. But they've been doing this for years. Dr. Sabi was unalive. There was
Hmm.
Dr. Gerson was also holistic. He says you can cure any cancer. There's a Dr. Leonard Caldwell. He's still living, thankfully. But it's only a matter of time. There's so many. They're like baking soda can cure you. This can cure you. This herb, AIDS, HIV, cancer, everything, everything. They said even MS and freaking Parkinson's, all of the neurological, they're parasites.
Yeah, but they need to have a way to get rid of it.
Yes. So and
So
also
they leave these
take our
things
money
around.
before we leave.
Of course.
And
Nuts.
on top of that, every time you're born, you have a birth certificate and a social security, which is a tax ID number, and they create money and they sell us on the stocks. They're like, this person's life expectancy is X, and they're going to produce this much for us. So they trade our labor on the stock exchange. So supposedly there's strawman accounts of millions and millions of dollars for each one of us that we're all unaware of.
Yo,
So
I feel like, you know, one more time with the drones. I feel like they were letting some shit out because everybody I know was fucking sick. I got sick. Coincidentally, all these people have been getting sick, and I
I
work
think
outside.
that's how they're passing the viruses. That's how they're spraying us. Because did
What
you
do
see
we know what's happening when we're sleeping?
well, speaking of when we're sleeping, supposedly they're radiating us while we sleep. There's this other guy who posted it. He was like, look at the activity when we're sleeping. It's not even 5G, now it's 6G, and they have
Hmm.
like radiation across the whole United States. And you see the numbers, they go from California and they go up the map, and like the way it moves real crazy. And they're like, well, they were starting it at this time of night, and now they're starting it, and they're like doing it more and more and more to get us sick.
I mean, what happened to the olden days? Why can't we just live our lives and just be happy?
Be
Play
happy,
outside.
happy slaves is not good. We need to have controlled sick slaves, obedient slaves. Happy ones? What the hell is happy?
Mm-mm.
I don't
Working for the powers that be. That's what's happy.
know. Mm-hmm. And they got an exit strategy if shit hits the fan. Because
I'm sure.
according to this thing, they have a reset every so often when we get too smart,
Hmm.
or we decide they don't, or they decide they don't need us anymore. They just reset. They take what they need, make as much money as they can, and then they move and restart the whole thing like Noah's Ark. That
Wow.
story, they've had so many stories of that kind of shit. The
In different
Egyptians,
forms.
yeah, the Egyptians got flooded out, the Mayans disappeared, Atlantis, they disappeared. They've been doing reset upon. When we get too out of control or we're too smart, they decide to
I
hit the
feel
reset
like it's getting
button.
there. I don't know. It's scary. Like as a young kid, thought that we would live a full life, and at this day and age, I don't even know if we'll make it to 60. The way shit is going.
It's
Pardon
a
my French.
Yeah, no, it's a sad reality. It's sad.
Look at these fires. Like, I don't know. Like, do you think that was just a coincidence? How fast they're spreading these winds of 100-mile-an-hour winds?
That's not normal.
Not at all. I saw a map. It was nuts. I don't even have it. It showed like the Chicago fire and then how much has burned. And it showed like how much of Illinois would be on fire already. It's a crazy big ass
Wow.
area. And that was a few days ago.
It's scary. What's scary is these hurricanes also. They're like not normal hurricanes.
Hmm.
Our storms are not normal. Hurricane Maria was not normal.
Right.
Whatever blizzard is supposed to be predicted to come our way now, this week into next week, is not a normal one. They said a combination of a blizzard and a hurricane. Like, how the hell does that happen right now? That's what I said.
I have a freaking tornado in between all that too. I wouldn't doubt it.
Probably with a mix of fire, a
Listen,
weird fire that we can't get rid of. Like, what? It's
I
crazy.
mean,
And
hey, we had an earthquake over here last year. Remember that?
yep. No,
I
we
and I
get
felt it.
but we get them. We just don't feel them all the time. But that one was we felt it
Yeah,
across the state.
I was sitting on a toilet in the building,
And
and
you felt it.
I swear it felt like a helicopter landed because the building felt like it was shaking. I'm like, what the heck? They got a helicopter landing pad up there?
That's crazy.
No,
I was
I
driving.
felt like the what, like you could feel everything. It was crazy.
I didn't get a chance to feel it, but I had heard a lot of people say it was strong.
Yeah.
It was really strong.
I felt one before a long time ago. I was in Illinois and I was sleeping. I remember that, but it was not as strong as this one. It was very like a little tremor.
like 6, 7 years ago, I think it was, there was one that hit the Carolinas and we felt it up all the way up to New York. And that was like a 6 point something or a 5 point something. And we felt it all the way up the coast. I was like, can you imagine if it was 7 or 8? We'd be completely, I don't even know, but like it would be completely destroyed our whole area. All we need is a tsunami to wash away Jersey, Florida, all this crap.
And it's possible.
It's definitely possible. They said California used to be underwater. They're saying, according to some old maps that they were looking at too. California rose from the freaking grave and shit, basically. Like it came back
Mm,
up.
mm.
So if you look too, if you do any kind of history watching, there's a lot of stuff underwater, a lot of cities underwater, and then they come up and then they disappear again. They come up, and it's just historically, it's just a thing.
Mm.
So we're
And
not the
we don't
first,
live long enough to see everything happen.
right? Right. Then you got people believing in reincarnation. I kind of sometimes believe in that.
Yeah, I
Like,
think the Buddhists believe in that, right?
the
If I'm not
Buddhists,
mistaken.
I think Hindus also believe in reincarnation. Um,
I sometimes do. I don't know if that's just my brain playing tricks on me, but
what do you think?
I mean, there's so many animals, you know. Where do our souls go?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Nobody's able to say I've been to heaven. Well, there's some people that say they see it and come back, but is that really what it is, or is that a thought that they hope it is?
It could be another, what is it, like another day?
Another dimension.
Yeah, I was
I've
just,
heard about other dimensions.
uh-huh.
Isn't that like that movie Inception or something like that?
Yeah. Yeah. And
That's
science
that movie
supposedly,
confused me so much I think I gotta watch it again.
yeah, like shit is upside down and here and there and all that. But
Yeah, 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 yeah.
science, they just said recently in science news that they found other dimensions and dimensions are real and that there's quantum realities that we could be here and in another dimension living out our similar life in a whole nother, there's a lot of shit on that too.
Also, when this life is not going so well, we could transport.
Basically, yeah, we probably wake up in the other body like that and that was all a dream. Keep
That
it
was,
moving.
yeah, right?
I don't know. It's bugged out. It's really bugged out. But who knows what the hell it is. But a lot of us look similar to people from the past too. Have you seen some of the celebrities too? They like show black and white pictures of people back in the day and they look exactly like the celebrities today. Like
Hmm.
there's something to it. It's probably a factory cloning us and like we freaking look the same and we're coming right back.
Yeah, they replaced the word clone with AI now
There you go.
because
Hmm.
you don't hear that no more.
No, you don't hear clone.
When was the last time? Like all of a sudden they stopped cloning. I remember they were cloning what animals or goats or
Hmm.
not goats, cows or whatever it was.
Yeah, they were cloning a lot of stuff. They were experimenting. Now, I think China or Japan just got approved to make human animal hybrids to test stuff on. Hmm. So that means they've been doing it. It's just now coming out
Now it's
that
coming
they're
out
giving
to the public.
to the public, but they've been doing that for probably 20 years. They've been testing on hybrids because they've been making animal hybrids for a long time. They only told us in the 90s about it or in the 2000s about it, but they've been doing that crap. They
Hmm.
only let us know. Like I remember my friend's father, he said he served and he did a lot of stuff and he was in IBM and worked for a lot of different people. And he said when he was in Venezuela and came out here, he was in IT and they were telling him, "Oh yeah, we have this technology and that technology. Soon you're gonna see a lab." Like basically they were describing a laptop to him and he just couldn't fathom having a computer in your lap and being able because at that time I think it was the 70s or I don't even know what year it was and he was like
Hmm.
computer like on the lab like he remembers the old school whatever but they
Yeah.
told him and then the cell phones is a thing they had cell phones out in the 50s they got people catching them in movies talking on cell phones black and white pictures you're like wait what
Hmm.
nothing there's nothing new under the sun everything gets
Nothing.
reset and comes right back it's crazy
Wants to know what's next. I'm just saying it's very scary out here right now.
it is to not know
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, why can't we know?
But are we able to comprehend if they tell us that this whole world is being ran by like 12,000 people, families that intermingled and interbred, and that they run everything, and that there's other lands and other beings and other could we
Yeah, they
honestly comprehend all of that?
no. I
No,
think the world would just go crazy. It would
exactly.
be chaos.
People will be looting and doing all kinds of shit, so they keep everything in control. They keep us in control. It's like a fucking mass experiment. Let's see if we mandatory tell everybody they gotta stay in their houses. How many people will comply? They're testing to see that they turn the fire up. We all stayed in our house for 2 weeks. Most people in the whole world were home for 2 whole weeks.
Oh yeah.
It was a mass
Isn't
experiment.
there a new little a new virus going around?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Last I heard, it was over there in China. Has it made its way here?
Yeah, and I
Not
heard
yet.
it's on its way. And I heard that in Australia, 300 viruses that were in the lab went mysteriously disappeared in Australia. I said, are you serious right now? Everything
Right.
is man-made. Everything we've all gotten, had, whatever has been made to make us sick or unalive us.
I believe that.
All of
I
it.
believe that. I mean, history repeats itself. I feel like it'll come back again.
Oh
It
yeah.
may be handled differently, but when they need to clear the cachet, as they say,
Yep.
they're gonna do what they need to do.
Well, think about it.
Coincidentally, it's around the same time as last time.
Mm-hmm. It's politically drawn to, and also they have an NWO agenda, the New World Order. They
Hmm,
want one religion, one economy, one whole system that everybody has to comply. They've been working on this for a long, long time.
how would that look?
I mean, if we don't go along with the plan, they unplug us from the financials, from from being a part of society. Bill Gates already is rolling it out that if you don't have a digital ID by 2028 or 2020 something, you can't participate in society. Like it's a fucking movie we're living in.
What?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Hmm,
I'm trying to figure out what the fuck does he have to do with anything,
right,
especially considering that he can't even take care of the viruses in his computers.
right, exactly.
Why you
Uh-huh.
telling us you know how to take care of the human body if you can't even take care of your computers? Let's go. Let's go. Go somewhere else with that bullshit.
Yeah. What was this? What was this? That they're saying about the LA and the smart city.
Yeah, so the conspiracy theorists, I like to say it like that, and this is for entertainment purposes only, audience.
Yeah. Don't
Uh
quote us.
yes, yeah, right. So supposedly
We have no
Maui,
rights to none of this that we're
right,
saying.
right, right. Maui was supposedly getting set up to be a smart city, and so was LA. And they needed
Uh-huh.
to burn them. And the same MO, both stories are the same way. We had no water going into the hydrants. Nobody was
Hmm.
around. We didn't have fire people and blah 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 blah. Then all these people in Maui had to just basically take whatever they gave them for their land because they had
Hmm.
nothing else. So if you don't have an insurance policy and you own the house that was, let's say, $1 million, but they tell you we're gonna give you $100,000, we just want your lot, you're going to take the $100,000 instead of not having anything at all. So it's a land
Right.
grab. They're doing a land grab. And the same thing happened in LA, from what I gather. And then it doesn't help that there's somebody in jail that has a long list and videos and evidence of people that were doing stuff they shouldn't have been doing with minors and other people. So,
And baby oil.
yep, baby oil that was laced.
Oh yeah. Ooh.
It
I
was,
didn't know that one.
yeah, it was
There's
laced with,
thousands of bottles. Holy moly.
they found a bunch of them were laced, like 100 or 200 of them were laced with a bunch of crap. They got this chemical that they use to get people jacked up. So you could take
Hmm.
advantage of them, do whatever you want to them as soon as it touches their skin. Mm-hmm.
Really? It's
Yep.
kind of like that thing that they put over your face when they try to make you pass out, huh?
Yep.
I don't know the exact chemical, but
Yep. That's
the
scary.
one they use in movies.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Movies, movies. This is all made up, guys. None of this that we're saying is real.
Nothing is real.
Nothing is
Only
real.
reality is when you sleep.
Right, right, right. We're an illusion. We're living in a freaking sci-fi movie, I swear.
It
Like,
feels like it. Yeah. Every day it's like, what do we expect now?
well, I saw that video, that movie that you sent me from with Megan Fox on
Yeah, you
Netflix,
saw
that
that?
new movie. That was wild. And they rolled out like legit girlfriend and boyfriend bots like that too. They just rolled it
And
out
I
at some
bet you
convention
they're
center.
gonna sell.
They are. They're already selling.
That's crazy. Can you
Uh-huh.
imagine?
But she doesn't look as good as obviously Megan Fox is a real
Right.
actress. She's not a robot, but they're becoming pretty realistic
I
looking.
mean, hello, look at the phones from before and look at them now. It's only a matter of time. Just
Mhm.
like the graphics and the games, it's only a matter of time.
Oh yeah.
It
Well,
feels like you're in the game these days.
well, that's what Elon Musk said, and that's what I was just about to say. Elon Musk said that while we were sleeping for the last 5 years or since 2000, since 2020, we were all our consciousness was uploaded onto some server or cloud, and then we were moved into a virtual reality of Earth. And all of this is a copy of what we were in before. Yeah, that shit
Really?
freaked me out. He said they can upload your consciousness into an Android or like a clone version of you. It's
That's
freaky.
sick.
Yeah, it was freaky. When I heard that shit, I was like, man, I wouldn't put it past these mofos.
Hmm, hmm. He has a lot of say in a lot of things. That's interesting.
He's a scary guy.
Did you
I
know that his
swear.
brother owns a drone company?
Yes, I heard that. Yep. Tell us more.
That's what I heard. That he's an owner. What are the odds that all of a sudden stuff is happening and
Uh-huh.
your brother's involved in a lot of things too?
Mm-hmm. Yep. A lot of
He's
things
got
just,
that self-driving car.
yeah. And then you got that cyber garbage truck that's driving around everywhere. That cyber truck,
Really?
it looks terrible. Have you
Oh,
seen the cyber truck?
yes, yes, I did. I was like, what cyber garbage truck? Yes, I hate it.
I
I
think
see
it's
a
all,
lot of them here in
you know,
Jersey, a lot.
I call it a garbage truck because it looks like a garbage can, like those little metal garbage cans that that back in the day they were like this, or it just looks like
Yup.
it's something out of the 80s.
Yeah, it's not cute.
No, it doesn't
But
belong.
these people are buying them.
Yeah, but these
They
cars
see
lock
the
your ass
name and
in.
they go and buy it.
Uh-huh. But did you see that these cars in Chicago froze? They couldn't even charge them things. People were stranded. And
Yeah.
in California, they were stranded too because they
That's
couldn't
that's
charge
the
them.
downside of this. If something goes wrong, you ain't going nowhere.
And they want to push electric cars for everyone by a certain
Oh
year.
yeah. I thought it was like 2030 or something.
Uh,
2035 or something like that.
They want nothing but electric car. But look, it's a shit show. You got to charge for 25, 30 minutes. And then when that charge is gone, hell no. Mm-mm.
That's it. Where's the backup? And then if you have in your house, God forbid something happen, people are gonna start going crazy trying to kill each other just to be able to charge their cars in somebody else's house.
Yep.
Nah, I'm good.
We better
I'll
get
stick with
ready
it.
with bicycle. We better get our bicycle work on because
Even
that's
the
the only
bicycles
way.
are electric these days.
That's true, but when them things take the charge and it dies, better go off with the like regular shit. But like, dun, dun,
Yeah, we gotta have to make sure we got one of those in
dun.
storage somewhere.
Hell yeah, you better get a real bike out. I got a real bike, thankfully. I just hope I
I'm gonna have
have
to get one now.
for real. Listen, you don't know. You don't freaking know. It's scary.
Yeah, man.
But we're not
But in
trying
other
to
news,
take anybody out.
yeah,
In other news, what?
in other news, how do you like the new album Bad Bunny came out with?
Bad Bunny is the bomb. Let
I
me
love
tell
him.
you. Everything he
He
does
always
is
got a
gold.
message. He really
Yes.
does always have a message. It's deeper than what he's singing,
Well, he's a
I
Pisces.
feel.
And Pisces are very artistic and they're known to be dreamy and they sell you their dream and their whole like story and that's why he's so amazing. Like he's really great at what he does.
Hmm.
Like you take that deep dive with him and you go like you feel like, damn, yo, I love Puerto Rico. Even if you're not Puerto Rican, people are like, oh my God, I love
Yeah, everybody's
Puerto Rico.
going crazy right
Yeah,
now.
yeah. And then the people who are like, oh, it's trash. I'm like, they don't understand the message. They don't understand the message. So obviously it's not for you. Like, keep it
Yeah.
moving.
One of his songs he was talking about how about lo que pasó in Hawaii.
Oh yeah.
He
Mhm.
doesn't want that to happen in Puerto Rico.
It's true.
Did
It's
you
true.
see the little videos,
Yes.
the little
Yes.
clips of how it's getting gentrified and all
Yes.
that? And
Yes.
man, that was a message right there.
Yo, when he said a vegan quesito with no quesito, how you gonna have a quesito with no quesito? Like that's what it's all about. How
That
do you
was
do that?
hilarious.
Yep.
$30. He's
He's
like,
like,
what?
"Daddy." Yeah, and then he couldn't even pay with a regular damn thing. He was like, "Oh no, don't worry about it." The guy's like, "Here, that's fine. I'll pay you." And he's like, "We're still here. Estamos aquí. Todavía estamos aquí."
Yeah, man. Gotta stay strong. That's what it's about. Throughout all of this, I feel like he was saying, like, shit's gonna happen, but you gotta stick together. And in so many words, stay
Mm-hmm.
true to your people, stay in and look out for each other.
Yeah, and the thing is that Puerto Rico is slowly losing its identity. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so many people, and I tell you, this Maria was a setup, and it kicked a lot of our people off the island, especially people that didn't have the means to stay and fix
Mm-hmm.
it. A lot of them abandoned their homes, and then the government is illegally taking people's homes from them and selling them to other people. They're not even selling it to people from the island,
Of
you
course
know,
not.
native Puerto Ricans. They're not selling them, they're not giving them the loans, they're giving the loans to people from outside. And not only that, they have so many incentives for other people to come into the island and build businesses and take 100%. They don't have to
What
pay
was it
taxes.
called? It's called something. Was it something 60 or something like that?
I think I know
It's
what you're
some kind of clause, right? Where you don't have to
talking.
pay like certain things and you can get land and you're not even you don't have to be from there.
Yeah.
I don't even understand how that even was implemented.
Puerto Rican corruption. They wanted
Hmm.
people to come to the island, invest their money. And I think it's like they are selling the island from underneath us, you know. And I say underneath us because the people that are from there, my family, you have relatives, you know, so many people that just can't stay. They can't afford it anymore. Then you have Luma charging ridiculous for, you know, the electrical bill in Puerto Rico.
That's not even always working.
That's not always working. It's like some I always joke and I say it's like somebody's uncle put two wires together and the whole island is being held together by those two freaking somebody's
That's
uncle was like, yo, I
crazy.
got let me help you. And then took a little bit of like electric tape, taped it. The
Oh
whole
my
island
God.
is being held together by somebody's uncle doing some work in the background. Like, come on. We're part of the states, but then we're not. Like they claim us when they want us, they take advantage of us.
Mm-hmm.
They
Mm-hmm.
reap all the benefits that Puerto Rico has to offer, but they're not giving us anything in return. And then our government
Nothing.
has sold us. Our government has sold us to the highest bidder.
Yeah,
Because if you're, I'm sorry.
no, go ahead. Go
I was
ahead.
just gonna say, if you're gonna sell the island and you're gonna have people come in and bring business to the island, then have them put back into our economy as far as take the taxes, use the taxes to help fix the roads in Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico looks like
Yeah,
you're
the
on the moon.
infrastructure.
Craters
Yep.
everywhere in the
Yep.
potholes and everything. Fix
Yep.
the island, help the poor that needed, you know, fixing and help during Maria that they still haven't gotten roofs and they still haven't gotten aid. You know, fix
Yeah.
the infrastructure, fix the structure, you know, fix it all.
Yeah. I was there, what, 2, 3 years ago for the first time. And I was sad. I was disappointed at to know that, it's a territory and it's not up to date. It's lacking so much. And it's such a beautiful place. It has so much potential. It could be so much better and
Mm-hmm.
it could probably offer more to people if they just help build it up, but they don't want to, or at least not the people that live there.
Right. They
The
don't want.
natives. They don't want to help the natives. They want to help the new people
They
that
don't.
are making businesses and stuff there.
Yeah, and the first time you buy in Puerto Rico, if you're not from the island, the incentives are you don't have to pay property taxes on your first property ever.
I bet.
Come on, man. How is that going to help Puerto Rico? You
Well, what? Everybody's just making different LLCs and buying property then.
They're
And
doing.
just sell it to each other, sell it to themselves. Then they own all those properties. There's a
Mhm.
loophole.
Yep. There's something's got to give. I think we should have banks for us and by us so that we can, even if we're off the island and we're on this area, they call this the mainland. So if we're
Hmm.
here on the mainland, we should be able to invest in the island and at least keep it within our native roots. I don't see why that's an issue. It's our
Right.
island. And we should love it enough and care about it enough that we should have access to financial, like go finance something in Puerto Rico. If you can't afford to pay it outright, but if you can afford to make monthly payments and buy, let people from here own over there
Right. And build it up
and build
from within. The people that
partner
want to,
with
yeah.
us. Yeah, these banks and these agencies, they should partner with us. Like, look, we want to give you guys first dibs because we want the island to be like, let's say 70% ours, and then 30% other people can invest. But right now, it's not looking that way.
No,
And
it's not. And
we're gonna lose our identity.
before you know it, just like that video,
Exactly.
they weren't even playing Spanish music no more.
No, it was crazy. And he's like, what would I give to hear a car go down the street with reggaeton
Yeah,
music?
yeah, 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 yeah.
And the
Look,
guy was like, you do it. And then he got in his car and his little amigo truck or whatever the hell it was, and he
so
was driving.
cute.
I love the frog. I didn't
Yeah,
realize that it was an endangered species in Puerto Rico.
yeah,
There's so much. He did so much. He did an amazing, amazing job. And if anything at all, he raised awareness. Um, and hopefully those that really took it to heart will do something about it.
yeah.
You
'Cause,
know?
you don't do something without knowing. And I feel like he made the message clear for those that are paying attention.
Yep. Yeah. And maybe there'll be an organization started that'll help the people on the mainland that want to invest in Puerto Rico, help it make it easier for us to invest and keep the island so we can at least own 60% or something of the island.
Yeah,
Majority owned Ricans. I would love that because I want to keep what history and what
culture.
culture,
Yeah,
everything that we have there.
it
I would
should
love
it should be able to continue to be passed down. Like,
it. Mm-hmm.
you know, it feels like a lot of culture is being lost throughout these generations,
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
know, especially being here, like it's just becoming one big block.
Yeah,
I
we're
don't know. I
melting
feel
pot.
like it was so different when we were younger.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah,
people were proud of being Spanish. Like nowadays they're just so lost in being American and trying to make their way that they forget their roots and they're not even able to connect with them.
right, right. It's true.
Nuts.
But yeah, I mean, that's all we got for you guys.
For
Hopefully,
today,
I know, right? We did a lot. We said a lot, did a lot.
for today, there's a lot going on in the world, guys.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Stay up to date, stay prepared.
Yeah, yeah. And not to be
Keep
like
in touch with your family members.
right, right. And not to fear monger, but be prepared for anything. Try to store three to
Yeah.
six months of non-perishables in your house somewhere, or an emergency exit plan if you got to get out of your house or your town or your city, on the hush, on the DL, get some stuff together, a backpack, and get the hell up out of Dodge. Stay away from the coast if you can, because if some other countries come in and invade us or aliens come, we need to go inside. Inside. Remember, like the movie Signs, the aliens are afraid of water, so make sure you have water by your nightstand.
There we go. There we go. And who's to know what's to come in the next couple of weeks? Because you know what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
We're going back into a different power. So
Mm-hmm.
scary
Yep.
times.
Yeah. Yeah.
People all want to make a statement these days.
Yep. Yep.
And yeah, a lot of people, they act out of fear. So
Mm-hmm.
be
So don't
safe out there.
don't be afraid. Stay out of like crazy crowds because we got people bombing terroristic type
Yeah, what a coincidence.
now.
Those two separate events had so many things that coincided.
And I heard they were both from the same military. They were
The
both
same
in.
military, they both rented a car from the same app at
Mm-hmm.
around the same time. Like, and this happened around the same time. Come on.
Mm-mm. They say MK Ultra was used for that shit. I don't know if you ever heard of that, but that was like
No.
mind control, military mind control. They put something in them so that when they activate these military people that are retired or off, they can go do crazy shit. And you saw a few years ago there was an ex-military guy. He went into a base and started shooting people up. So they're
Mm-hmm.
saying
Mm-hmm.
that they're like soldiers for them. If something goes wrong or they want to do some bullshit, they can just activate these military guys anytime.
Hey, I mean, they
Listen,
do that. I know they do some kind of like, what is that called? Gas chamber training. Who knows what's really in there?
yep. And they have where they can brainwash a lot of them and or do I listen, I just don't trust any of it. I don't trust any of it. So just be vigilant and keep an eye on
Yes.
your
Keep your family
surroundings.
safe.
Be
Stay in
safe.
touch with your families, your friends. Check on them.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of this stuff is getting to people too.
That's true.
People
A lot
start
of
isolating because
that's
they worry,
also true.
and we got to stick together during these times.
I agree. I didn't think about the isolation part, but yeah, we do got to
Yeah.
reach out to those that are important to us. Yep. I agree.
Well, and if everyone, it was a pleasure once again. We're back,
We're
2025.
back. Woo woo. The
We're trying to
craziness.
get a new time slot in so we can give you guys more information
Yes.
and stay in touch and try to learn and grow with y'all
Yeah. Yeah.
throughout this year.
Be safe, everybody. And hopefully we'll see you guys next week.
Yes.
Same time, same
Good night.
place. Good night.
Good night.